Hi there, it's Sandra, and you are listening to the podcast A Duchess Like Us. Hello, and welcome to episode 18 of A Duchess Like Us, a podcast that reports positively and fairly on Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. So today, I'm joined by Nelly, my co-host for this episode of the podcast. So, Nelly, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm your foul-mouthed sister from over Hadrian's Wall, and I'm currently drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon because reasons, and it's a Tuesday.
That's a perfectly good reason for me. So, enjoy. Okay, well, all I can say is hello, everybody. It's been a while. It's been a long time since.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but it feels like ages because so much has been going on in the UK since we last recorded. I'm going to give you a quick summary of what's happened. So, at the moment, as of today, we are well into the second wave of the pandemic in the UK, and we're into the 6th week of our second lockdown. So we had a lockdown in November 2020. We came out at the end of
just before Christmas.
Yeah, just the beginning of December. And then we discovered that the UK had its own new variant of the virus.
Yeah.
And so
Brexit strain, I call it.
Yeah, that's probably what it is, actually. And then everyone scattered for Christmas. It was ridiculous here. It really was. And then in January, Brexit finally hit us properly because although the UK left the European Union on the 31st of January 2020, we were still what was called in the transition period of transitioning out of being a European Union member. And that happened for us in the UK on December the 31st at 11 p.m. And by God, has Brexit hit us. Because we're now a third country. We're not part of the European Union anymore. So goods, we're having trouble getting goods here. We're held up by customs papers and all sorts of things. And so at the moment, lots of businesses going bust because they can't transport their goods in and out of Europe or in and out of the UK. And it's not looking good for us, unfortunately. But
Nope.
When you have the government that we have, I don't know what else to say, really. I mean, we told them it was going to happen, but they didn't listen to us. So this is the result of it. We are suffering because of Brexit. So...
And the only thing that this government can do is just now create culture wars.
Basically,
to distract from the fuckery. Yes, I'm lit this evening, as you can hear with the swearing. But yes, it's I had the less said about Brexit Britain, the better. R.I.P. the Union, because I also don't see Scotland surviving this.
No, Scotland are going to go. Scotland are going to leave the Union. It's just a matter of time now.
Yeah, and then
it will be a united Ireland as well.
Reunification of Ireland. Yep, but it's man.
It's looking good in the UK, isn't it? Woohoo!
Amazing.
So let's talk about some happier stuff. Because I don't want to think about those two things anymore because it's
depressing.
It's getting really depressing now. So for us Meghan and Harry supporters, we've had a really, really, really good week. So as everyone knows, on Wednesday, Meghan won her court case against the Mail on Sunday. Then on Valentine's Day, they announced that they were going to have a new baby, which was such good news. It was really, really, I was so pleased with that. And then, yesterday, we found out. Yeah, because everything's merging into one now. Yesterday, we found out that Meghan and Harry are going to be interviewed by Oprah Winfrey it's going to be broadcast on the 7th of March. So we've got so much to look forward to, and we've got much more happier news. So today, in this episode of the podcast, we're going to cover these 3 topics in much more detail, as detail as we can, because, that's how things go. So let's start, Nelly, with the first one, which is the court case win. So last Thursday, on the 11th of February at 4 p.m, it was announced by the High Court in London that Meghan had won her privacy and copyright case against the Mail on Sunday. The judge in the case awarded a summary judgment in Meghan's favour. The judge decided that the Mail on Sunday had indeed invaded her privacy and that they had also infringed her copyright by publishing parts of the letter that she sent to her father. There was, however, a limited case to be answered about the actual copyright of the actual letter. And the next legal hearing will be in March, beginning of March, I think, where they will decide if they're going to proceed to trial. But they can't, from what I understand, they can't bring in loads of new information. It's going to be completely limited to the who actually wrote the letter, and they're going to hash that out. That's if the Mail wants to take it to court, because I think they're wasting their time. So anyway, Nelly, so what's your opinions on this? I mean, I don't know. First of all, I'm very, very happy that she won. Yep. But what do you think? Tell me what you think about what's going on. And
no, like you, I'm also over the moon that she won, and that was it was a double that, they literally the Mail on Sunday took the double L from the Sussexes, because obviously a couple of weeks before they lost to Harry.
Yes.
And now this one. I can obviously Associated newspapers aren't very happy with the Sussexes, and as far as I'm concerned, they could suck an egg, because whatever.
Well,
no, the privacy case for me was the most difficult one, because
why do you say that?
It's always, for me, I don't know. I thought the copyright would be easier to answer would be a lot easier to answer for, because look, at the end of the day, it's her words, and it's her words, and look, at the end of the day, she sought she consulted with the communications team, rightly so, because at the end of the day, they work for her, and at the same time, she didn't want to be, obviously we didn't get the whole of the letter. Obviously, we see larger extracts if you read the judgment. It's it's her words, and if any of these so-called Palace 4 want to claim ownership of those words, then that is an issue. So
see, with what I was thinking of, that was number one, I've written letters where I've done the basic body of the letter myself, and I've given it to somebody to read and say, what do you think? Doesn't mean you've got copyright of it. It means, exactly, what do you think? What do you think? So I find it quite tenuous that they're actually drawing this little bit out, saying that, 4 people saw the letter, so therefore they have copyright to it. No, I don't think so. You could just be asking for somebody's advice, and say to them, can you look at it? What do you think of this? Now, if someone actually had said, I'd put this whole section in the letter, then we're talking. But from what I understand, I don't think that's what's happened. I just think it was given to somebody to look over to see what you think and give me your advice.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think that they actually put in words, told her what to say and all of that. I don't think that was the case at all, because of the very personal
nature of it.
The very personal nature of it, and on top of that, these fuckers don't know, Meghan's relationship between her dad. So, and look, based on the extracts that I did read in the summary in the filings, Thomas Markle's a monster. That's all I can
Of
say.
course
I
he
mean,
is, yeah.
we are. I mean, look, we already knew that. We knew that this guy is a liar. But to lie and to sell yourself, saying that your daughter, the letter that your daughter had sent you was a goodbye letter. It wasn't a goodbye letter. It was her telling you about yourself, because
Yeah,
you were doing,
basically.
yeah, you've been an awful father in the time, in 2018, where you're collaborating with paparazzi, you're being manipulated by Hot Wheels. You sided with your other children over the daughter who you claim to love. And I also it's just an incredibly dishonest man, and just gross. And I hope he never sees Meghan. I hope he never meets I hope he never sees Meghan again. And yeah, I hope he never meets Archie and Harry and this new baby. I hope they have nothing to do with them, because ultimately
He sold them out.
he sold them out. He sold them out to the highest
Yeah,
bidder. And everyone
yeah,
knows this, but still people are taking his side because he's an old white man. Old white men are
basically.
dangerous. Old white men are dangerous. Okay.
Yeah, it's basically, it's
Obviously,
it's
not all old white men.
no,
Okay,
yeah,
just that
yeah.
one and Donald Trump.
No, I just think that the whole situation is really sad, because this is my opinion. It's not you don't have to agree with me or not, but he just sees her as a meal ticket. And I think
Absolutely.
he's not bright at all, because he clearly thought that he was come out of this looking good. And when even when you read the portions of the letter that was put in the paper, he didn't come out of that looking good at all.
Yeah.
And then to find out that she was bankrolling him all the time,
Bruh.
and he still sold her out. That's really low. I mean, you can't get any lower than that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And
You forfeited your right to being a parent, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah,
I mean,
because
it's a toss up between him and Vanessa Bryant as who's the shittiest parent of the year. Well,
yeah,
he's been the shittiest father of since 2018. No, I don't want to hear anything from him or his fam or him. I don't want to hear anything from him ever again.
but the thing is, with him, he will always pop up, because they seem to think that that's Meghan's Achilles heel, and it's not, because she clearly has.
No, I think she's
She's
done with
dealt with
him.
him. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's dealt with him.
yeah,
It's not a relationship that will, I think, bring harm to her anymore, because he she now has her unit, and he's so stupid, because he could have been a part of that unit,
yeah,
but he chose unwisely, let's put it that way.
yes,
But he's just a grifter. He's always been a grifter, and it really shows up now, the way he is.
yeah,
And the fact that he feels that he has some sort of right to be there. No, you don't.
yeah.
You
As he said it himself, he is a footnote in history, and forever he will be a footnote in
yes,
history, because he assigned himself that role of being a footnote in history.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I think back to the privacy issue. Privacy has always been a tricky one. In this country, we do have strict privacy laws, but where the mail shagged themselves is printing most of the extracts. Obviously, not the ones that painted what's his face in a bad light, but obviously the ones that tried to paint her in Meghan in a bad light, which pull, even the extracts that they did pull were not, gosh. But for them to do that, they shagged themselves. If they at least discussed the letter or something like that, they would have easily have won the case. But no, they actually put out whole ass extracts in it and edited it, because we're talking about a 5-page letter. It had something like 2,000 words or something like that, and I think what they printed out was like 500 words,
Yeah.
or something like that. So if
But
they were clever and did not want to have Meghan would not have pursued the lawsuit had they talked around the letter, but instead they went and printed out the extracts, which is where they fucked. And good, because they took that L.
But also they tried to manipulate the narrative by trying to twist it to make the letter appear not as it should, not as it was, basically.
Yeah.
So it was all the manipulation of it that I found was quite, again, disgusting. Apart from the fact you shouldn't have published it anyway, number one, and number two, the fact that you tried to manipulate it in such a way. No, they didn't. They just showed themselves for what they are, and it was actually quite disgusting to do that. So I have no sympathy for them at all. I hope they get taken to the cleaners, because that's what they deserve. But as for Thomas Markle, he's made his bed, he's going to lie in it now. So what's done is done, as they say. So but yeah, I'm so pleased. I'm so pleased that she won. I mean, that's 2 years of hell, basically. 2 years of people printing stuff and using them and manipulating the courts as well to add things in so they can sell more papers. That's what I thought was really bad as well. How can someone be taking you to court and yet you can still write about it and put in your papers? That shouldn't be allowed. You've been taken to court. I found that whole situation very strange, but it's that saying, what goes around comes around, and they're going to get their due course. So there you go.
Yeah, they got their comeuppance, and it couldn't happen to a nicer group of people. But at the end of the day, these wankers, these tabloids, that the Rothermeres and the Murdochs of this world, they literally have a bank. They literally have funds to battle this shit. None of it's good enough to take them down. What will it take? What will it take for these, for the Daily Mail to cease operations like the News of the World? Because that needs to happen.
Yeah, but the News of the World only went down because, they hacked a murdered child's phone. You can't get any lower than that. You really can't. And that's why they went down, and of course the hacking, of course. But when people found out that they hacked Millie Dowler's phone, and basically her poor parents, from what I understand, thought that she was alive because she'd listened to her messages, and it was the Daily Mail doing it, or not. Sorry, beg your pardon. It was whatever paper did it, the Sun or the News of the World or whatever did it. That. You can't get lower than that. That was just disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah,
and I just felt for her mum and her dad and
the
sister.
family,
that was awful. So no, the News of the World couldn't survive that. Murdoch couldn't survive that. He had to get rid of the paper after.
We need them to be caught in some kind of illegal fuckery, because these people are they're still around, and it's disgusting, and they really have no right to call themselves, anyone that works for those papers have no right to call themselves journalists, and obviously especially the royal journalists there. I mean, you lot have zero credibility, period. So
I can't disagree with that at all. So so from what I understand with the case, because the judge said that there was a small case to answer to about who actually owns the copyright of the letter. We're going to find out in March whether if it is going to go to trial or not. But if I was the Mail on Sunday, I wouldn't even bother.
Yeah.
You lost.
We'll see, because they're bruised right now, and I can see them appealing the decision as well. I really
I can see it, but I don't think it's going to get them very far, to be honest. They're lost.
Yeah,
they've lost. So
okay. Yeah,
they need to. I'm not disagreeing with you, but they have lost. They need to move on, because it's it's over. It really is.
Game over.
Yeah. So anyway, that's our thoughts on the court case win. I do. One thing I will add is that I hope those papers think twice before they start going after these two, because if you haven't learned your lesson now, it's not the royal family you're going after anymore. It's Meghan and Harry, and they will sue you at the drop of a hat. They won't think twice about it. So, please leave them alone. That's all I'm going to say. Please, for your own safety, leave them alone. So, let's go on to our next topic, which is the fabulous news that Meghan's having a baby. Woohoo! So, we found out, it was announced on Sunday evening, London time, that Meghan was pregnant again. And considering we found out in November that she suffered a miscarriage in, was it July?
The summer, the summer, so June, July, who knows?
Yeah, it was really, really good news to know that she was having another baby. And that Archie's going to be a big brother. So that's really nice. It was really, really cute. So
wonderful.
Yeah. So what I will say is, I'm laughing because it is really, really good news. But most people in the UK are really happy that they're having a baby, apart from you know who. Who are absolutely seething. I don't understand what the problem is. But yeah, the picture with the picture to announce it was absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful black and white shot. Yeah.
Shout out to Miss Anne Harriman. He was interviewed today by Robin Roberts for ABC, and he seems like a really nice guy, and just he said something which is very similar to what the guy that did the wedding photos, I can't remember his name, but they just seem so lost in each other, and they're literally waltzing through life because they're so in love with each other, and and they've got so much to look forward to. And I mean, shout out to iPad,
amazing iPad,
Apple, man. But no, gorgeous shots, and so happy. I mean, you remember when I told you, because for those of you who know, some of you would know, but I was on A Duchess Like Us podcast this weekend. And
Duchess Like Us, we didn't record this weekend.
Duchess Like Us. Sorry. sorry. Getting my podcasts crossed. But no, I was on Sussex Squad podcast, and did quite the marathon. We did. I took part in probably the first 3 hours of it.
Oh wow!
And look, we went through that summary judgment, But no, after I came off that and had my dinner, and then sat down on my Twitter, and the first thing I saw on the timeline was that picture. And I was like, and the first, I saw Harry's face, and then I'm like, oh, that's Harry. And then I just saw this bump, and I was just like, rah, yeah. and I sent it over to you guys in the chat with the quickness, man. I was just like,
because I remember when I got the picture, because I was doing something. I looked at the picture, and I went, is she pregnant again? that was my question to Nelly. Is she pregnant again? Sort of thing. And you went, yep. I was like, oh my God, that was fantastic news. So it was really, really good, but what I did was, I got the picture. It must have been about 7:30 in the evening. I just immediately checked the papers, and I went online, and I was on the Guardian, and I went on because I have to go on Daily Mail to see what's going on, because I knew they'd kick off, and there was nothing there for about half an hour, and then all of a sudden all the papers started popping up with breaking news sort of thing. So it was like, it's out there, people now know. But it's really nice how they released it on their own terms.
Yes,
I thought that was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So
and looking at her as well, like that bump, it's quite clear that she's fairly far along. I would say she's in her roughly her second trimester. So maybe just a shade at the sort of 19-20 week mark, which is, obviously, given what happened in the summer last year, of course they're going to be super wary of with having babies, and when they would want to announce being pregnant again. And because it's having that happen to you, having a miscarriage, and then being it is having a miscarriage. Even though I've never personally been through it myself, but seeing women in my life go through that, it's horrendous, and it's something that never leaves you, really. So it's wonderful that they're having a rainbow baby, and just good luck to them. I hope everything goes well with this pregnancy. I hope she has a good pregnancy, and we have a healthy baby at the end of it. I don't care at this moment in time. I don't care what gender. Just want a healthy baby.
No, you just have a baby. As my parents, my grandparents would say, be grateful for what you got. Don't worry about what the gender is. It'll be fine. As long as it's healthy, that's the most important thing. So, it's really, really, it's fantastic news. So yeah, she just needs to keep stress free, I think.
Yeah, amen.
Just and not have any hassles. And I think being out in California and being in their home, and they are, she'll be safe in her own home, so everything will be fine.
Yeah.
But she won't have the stress that she had during the last pregnancy over here, where everyone was hounding her and constantly at her all the time and taking pictures of her, and awful time. So no,
when you think about it, it's a miracle that she had Archie, given everything that she went through over here with the horrendous press and the constant undermining by the royal household. It's amazing that she had Archie. But no, of course she's in the perfect environment to have she's home. She's got a nice, lovely house. She's got a husband. She's got her little man, and she's got her 2 dogs. She's got her mama.
Got her mum. Her mum's around her as well. Yeah. So everything's close to home. She can go about as she pleases and have no stressful strains or anything like that. So that's really it's really, really good news. It just made me smile, especially on Valentine's Day, which coincidentally was the anniversary of when Diana announced her pregnancy with Harry on Valentine's Day 37 years ago, whatever it was. So that was a nice that was a nice tie-in as well. That was quite sweet.
Yeah, I thought that was lovely. However, because it was Omid, I think, that put up that bit of history, and everyone sort of clocked on. So if you looked at the newspaper, the date is actually 13th of February rather than
but back in the day we wasn't as instant gratification like we do now. So basically they had to tell the papers on the 13th, so it could be in the actual paper printed on the 14th. So it's still the same sort of, it's the general public found out really on the 14th in the papers on that day that she was pregnant. So it was I still think it was a nice touch. It was very nice. So yeah, a lovely little Valentine's Day present. And I had a smile on my face, and was really just pleased. It's just pleased that things are going right for them. So in terms of having another baby. So yeah, really, really, really sweet. But I'm going to say this because on Twitter there was some fool on there saying that I can't remember who it was. Doesn't Meghan like you, Judy, then? Because she's stealing her thunder.
Listen.
I just was like, what's wrong with you people? God, come on.
It's fun. It's funny you say that, because there was a woman on Jeremy Vine cussing out that very same internet sort of conspiracy by that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give that pap's name, but like, she cussed him out. And listen, Eugenie had that baby a week ago. We know it's a boy. and is whatever line in thrown, you know, she's going to name it something boring and royal and traditional. Um, and look, at the end of the day, no one knows or cares about Eugenie, because look, to start, no one can tell the difference between, don't know which one's Eugenie and which one's Beatrice, you know. And then second, their parents are wayward. Her parents are wayward, you know. No one likes her, you know. Andrew is consistently ranked as like the worst royal, and ain't nobody seen his ass. And I hope that continues. So
but also, but it's just I was just when they said that, when that person said that, I was like, what, you mean the same Eugenie that's living in Meghan's house
exactly
for free?
Thank you
sorry, I just had to say that, you know. It's like, oh, she really hates it then by letting her live in her house.
Yeah,
you know. So
and look, like at the end of the day, you know, this whole conspiracy about how with Meghan announcing that she's after Eugenie. No one, like I said, no one cares. You got your you actually literally got paparazzi pictures of Eugenie leaving the hospital.
Have
so
they? Yeah, I paid no attention. This is what I mean. No one's paid no attention.
Yeah, they're in like Hello magazine.
Of course,
yeah. And Paul, and look, Paul usually didn't even warrant a whatchamacallit, not even a front page on any of the you know,
sorry,
not even a front page, you know.
So what page was she on? Because basically I don't read papers anymore.
Well, I think it was the Times that mentioned that she had given birth, and that was on their front page, but it was like, you know, one of those small little articles that they've got on their front page. So yeah, so that's the only mention of that. But other than that, there was no fucking front page, because like I said, no one knows, no one cares, you know. And
unfortunately, it's true.
Unfortunately, that is the case. And whatever, you know. And at the end of the day, she has her title, and she's living as private a life as she can, because thankfully no one gives a shit, and no one should really.
Well, actually, what I find quite interesting, and this is no disrespect to Eugenie, because she ain't done me nothing. I ain't got nothing to say about her, really. But I will say this. She goes to work. Well, she did go to work. I don't know if she works now. But she was, she's some sort of director of some sort of...
She's is it Victorian Albert or somewhere she was working at?
Yeah, she's some gallery.
She's
some gallery she's working at as an artistic director or something like that.
Yeah.
So... She gets paid money for working. What is different between her working and Meghan and Harry working?
Mm-hmm.
Bear in mind that Meghan and Harry have got you know, a bigger deal.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, has anyone asked Eugenie to drop her title to go and work for the artistic gallery? No. What's the difference? See what I'm saying? They're getting paid income. Both people are getting paid income. What's the difference? They're both royal. There's no difference.
There's no
in my book. And no one's saying a word. You know?
Yeah.
No one's saying a word.
But like I said, no one necessarily cares, and at the same time, no one knows who she is, because she's she's that far down the pecking order. She is what Archie is. She's the daughter of the spare.
Yeah,
you know,
Archie will become when he gets older. Yeah,
exactly. So no one cares, but you know, to whatever with these idiots that bring up that nonsense. At the end of and what made me laugh, you know, because like I said, usually got a bit of a mention on maybe one newspaper, but of course when Harry and Meghan dropped that announcement, and then that gorgeous shot. Every motherfucker had it on their front page, including the Mail.
Yeah. For all the screaming and crying.
What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
It tells you that they were your golden goose, and you motherfuckers shot them.
Yeah, absolutely. And now when they do want to talk to the press, they ain't talking to the British press.
Nope.
They're moving on to the American press. And with that little lovely segue, I thought was quite amazing, let's go on to point number 3, which is the interview that Meghan is going to have with Oprah Winfrey. So yesterday, yesterday it was announced that Meghan and Harry are going to do an interview with Oprah Winfrey. The interview will be broadcast on Sunday, the 7th of March, as a 90-minute special, which will be broadcast on CBS. Now, it's said that Meghan will talk to Oprah about life as a royal, marriage, motherhood, and then at some point they'll be joined by Harry and they'll talk about their move to the US. So basically, this is the interview that the British press over here have been going on about since I think Meghan, I think they got engaged, I think it was. Since, or maybe even before that Meghan was going to do a big interview with Oprah.
And... No. I will stop you right there. Yeah. Remember our friend at the our woeful friend at the Sun saying that.
Which one? There's many of them.
Dan Wotan. Who else? He got that exclusive in 2019 that Oprah was going to do an interview with Doria.
Oh yes, that's right.
Remember that?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was before the wedding, wasn't it? They were talking about that.
Either the wedding or after the wedding. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But that was hilarious. And then stupid Emu the Seer was actually literally had the gall to tweet out that today that I got my a year ago, I predicted that they were going to be interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. So I checked, my crystal ball was right. I was like, shut up.
Yeah, and how many other people has Oprah interviewed?
Not many. Not many. Exactly.
So, you know what I mean? So they need to shut up about that. But anyway, but I just was going on about how this has been forecast for years, and it was an easy forecast to make. Because even I could have done it, but it wouldn't mean I'm right, but even I could have done it. But the situation has changed now, because back in the day, Meghan and Harry were in the royal family fold. They're not that anymore. They're out doing their own thing. So they can do what they like. If they want to talk to Oprah, so be it. So I don't know what the press, the UK press are losing it. They are absolutely losing it.
They have lost their minds.
That's putting it nicely. They are, that's the word. They're shook. I've never seen a reaction to an interview. Never seen it like this. I'm sitting there wondering, well, why are you so upset? Apart from the fact, and I'm going to say it, you treated her so bad that they left the country. You're still chasing after her, trying to it's gone like to harassment now. It's really quite pernicious.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about this, but I was watching. Well, again, shout out to Josephine, who watches all things on UK TV, Sussex related. But it was a Sky clip, and a Sky News journalist was out in fucking Montecito asking people if they were going to, asking the locals if they were going to watch the Oprah and Sussex's interview.
Mm-hmm. I'm
like, wait a second. First of all, it's not happened. And why are you doing this? You guys are obsessed.
Yeah. It's become unhealthy. It really, it's really turned unhealthy.
Mm-hmm.
What are they trying to prove? What? I don't get it. I just don't get it. So, but anyway, it's. I said it's something that we've been hearing over here for so long.
Yeah. Well, the minute when they left, that's when we there was obviously talks of them most likely going to have a sit-down interview with someone in the American press, most notably Oprah, of course, about having a quote-unquote tell-all interview. And we don't know what's going to be said. I just love how people are projecting that this is going to be a tell-all, that it's going to be a tell-all interview. And who knows? If it is, it is, but at the same time, I don't expect Meghan and Harry to be, calling. I don't think they'll be saying that their relatives are shit. I
No,
can say
no.
that because I think their relatives are shit, but I don't think they personally will. I don't think
No,
they'll put.
because
They
also
won't put.
you got to remember that even if they don't like them, their child is part of that family, whether you
Yeah,
like it or not. It's Harry's family at the end of the day. You might not get on with your family, but I won't have anybody else slagging them off. Yeah, because they're
yeah,
my family. Do you know what I mean? Do you see
yeah,
what I'm saying? So I can't really, unless something really awful happens, I can't really see Harry or Meghan saying anything bad about the family. I really
yeah.
can't.
It
But
would have. It
I
would
could be
have to be.
wrong. I
It
could
would.
be
It
very
would
wrong.
have to be. Well, yeah. For me, it would have to be something unimaginably gross, like unforgivably gross.
Mm,
And look, and I've got a few thousand. I've got a few thousand guesstimations in my head what that would be. Um,
mm.
you know,
Yeah,
so yeah, it could be anything, but at the same time, I think this interview will also be about them moving forward with their lives. It'll be
yeah.
talking about what they hope to achieve with the Netflix deals that they've got, and
Hmm.
Spotify, and of course Archwell.
Yeah,
Archwell at the moment has been softly launched, but we would like to, and we do have a website, but we don't really have anything else. We do
yeah,
know that they're doing a lot of, they're doing a lot of, small projects here. As a matter of fact, one of the projects that they're working on with it's a partnership with World Kitchen with Jose
mm,
Andreas.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
building a kitchen in Dominica.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, they're working on small things like that, and it's small, but
Sorry, Dominica or Dominican Republic?
no, Dominica, sorry.
Dominica. All right, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. I
sorry.
was getting
So
a bit
yeah,
confused
not
there for a second. Yeah,
Dominica. Yeah, no,
yeah,
Dominica.
Dominica. Yeah,
Yeah. So all of so it's just these small things that will, of course, without a doubt, make people's lives better. And they're just contributing in a very small way, but without a doubt, they want to be positive, put positivity out in the world, and you can't begrudge them of that.
no,
No one
no.
should begrudge them of that. But of course, we've got so many cynical people out there, you know.
I don't think it's cynical people. I think we've got some very worried people out there, especially
Well,
in the
okay, okay,
press,
cynical
because
and
I think
cynical
because I
and
think
worried.
they'll. I think there's a lot of people could easily be exposed, could be exposed, and I think the press need to be very careful, um, because I think they could get called out. I don't
Mhm.
think she'd do it, but I think they could easily get called out
No, I think
for
they'll.
what they've done.
I think they'll call out the press in this interview without a doubt. I mean, look, Harry already called Rupert Murdoch by his fucking name, and look, I
Yeah,
lived, you know.
yeah, you know,
So I don't think he for one is going to. He's not going. Harry has say things with his chest, you
mm,
know. Meghan, she's
mm.
as extroverted as she may appear, she does keep things quite close to her chest.
And she's much. I think she's much more diplomatic,
Yeah,
um, about what needs to be said.
yeah,
But I personally think that there are some. I think that in the UK there's some very very worried people. They
oh
don't know
yeah,
what's going to be. They don't have. They have no idea what's going to be said, and they're basically living on eggshells at the moment because they don't know
hmm
what's going to go down.
yeah,
But I mean, for me, for the interview, I think she will talk about her life, about how her her very short time in the UK, and probably she'll be nice about it, but she'll say what really happened, how awful it was here for
yeah,
her, um, not by the general public, but by the UK press.
yeah,
Um, I think that also. I mean, I think she really loved talking about being a mother and her marriage, and
oh yeah,
you can see how much she adores her son and her husband, and so I think that's obvious. She's going to talk about that.
oh
I mean,
yeah,
I think it's going to be very interesting to hear their plans for the future. I
yeah,
think that I'd love to see. I'd love to hear more about Archwell and what they plan to do with the foundation and how
yeah,
they plan to link it to whatever causes they're doing.
And look, like obviously at the moment they don't have a social media presence, but that's because they're working with I can't remember, Color for Change, and a lot of these I can't remember the other I can't remember her name. It's gonna bug me now, but people that sort of work in the data science field and want, you know, social media to be a better place. You know, how I think that, you know, we're not going to see them on social media anytime soon, you know, until, you know, things have been, you know, changes have been made in terms of legislation and, you know, lots of other things, which I don't think they'll have a hand in it, but they'll definitely be putting a lot of backing in organizations and advocacy groups that will be lobbying for that sort of change.
I agree with you on that, but I think they will have a social media platform when they're ready to launch. I think any good business or any organization needs some sort of social media. I just think their social media will have much more integrity, and there'll be no like online bullying on their social media. I think it will be quite they will live up to their high standards and try to have it as a safe place to be. But I do think they will come back to social media. I mean, look, they've released the announcement that they were having a new baby via social media. If you want to get your word out to the people and avoid the press, you will need to have some sort of social media platform. And so I do believe that they will have social media. Like you, I don't think it will be fairly soon, but I think it'll probably be in time for the new baby. I think there'll be some sort of social media platform for them to announce the birth. So, I think they'll be back. I think they'll just do it on their own terms. That's all. They won't have like the restrictions of the royal household. Stopping them from doing various bits and pieces. So
and also and obviously when they were with the royal household, they did a very terrible job in, you know, in countering a lot of the disgusting vitriol that was thrown at Meghan, when we know
it's still up there, isn't it? It's still up there.
It's still there, and I believe Clarence House still has their comments locked since they got a lot of shit thrown at them when the last season of The Crown was on.
Yeah, but there was, you know what? I'm not going to be funny or anything, but The Crown didn't lie. There was nothing in there that wasn't true. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't a lie. We all know what they got up to. So I don't know why they're surprised that people are were a bit disgusted with them. You know, this is what I don't get. You know, this is diverging a little bit. I don't understand why they kicked up such a stink about The Crown season 4. We lived through it. Nothing they put up there. Well, I'm not lying, but we knew more about season 4 than we knew about the previous 3 seasons. There was nothing up there that wasn't a lie. You could fact check. They made it into a docudrama, but the basic tenet of the season was true. There's no lies there.
Yeah, and even Gillian Anderson herself said, "Oh, we could have been a lot nastier to the royals."
Exactly.
But I digress.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. When was when they got hacked, and Charles and Camilla got hacked, and
what the tampon
and all? Was that in the 90s or was that in?
That was in the 90s. That was the 90s.
Okay, so that'll be season 5. People look out for season 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was nothing in The Crowd that was a lie.
Nope.
Nothing. So you know, we'll see. The truth will set you free.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So, but anyway, back to social media. Yeah, Karen's house has still got their social media locked because they're getting flack from The Crown. It's just brought back people's memories. That's all.
Yeah.
You know, the whitewashing was, they thought they got away with it, and people suddenly remember, oh yeah, you did do that, didn't you? That was really awful, really nasty.
But let's
you know, how can you treat a little girl like that? That's horrible. You know,
yeah,
so
exactly.
You know, there you go.
But let's take it back to Meghan now, and this interview. We've talked about how people are shook. I mean, the palace, you know, straight up said it. Well, initially said that they're no longer working royals. Therefore, whatever media commitments that they've had, they do not run through us. And then not long after, front page on their favorite tabloid, the Daily Mail, that they're going to be dropped from their royal patronages in light of this interview.
Sorry, who said that? The royal family, or the Daily Mail said that?
The Daily Mail said that. So of course, the one with the teeth said with whichever royal source she's spoken to, they said that oh well, yeah, this is the last straw. We're going to they can't have any of their patronages. So obviously you've got
so again another rumor coming from
the palace.
The palace. So basically, they're trying to manufacture consent to make them drop their patronages, but we all know the patronages want them. So
it's funny you say that, because I just saw I saw a list of the patronages and how apparently the Mail has reached for them for comment. So where is it? The Rugby Football League is very proud that the Duke of Sussex has been sports patron since 2016. The RFL has not received official correspondence relating to any changes at the time. Child Charity. We are delighted to have the Duke of Sussex as our patron. He has always been a great supporter of Well Child's work, and we look forward to continuing to work with him in the future. The London Marathon Charitable Trust. The Duke of Sussex is the patron of the London Marathon Charitable Trust. We have no further comment on this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but they
have put out. They've reached for comment for like all the other sort of like Harry's honorary forces titles, Meghan's Mayhew and SmartWorks, and the Association of Commonwealth Universities, National Theatre, and the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, which of course Harry's the president and she's vice president. None of them, they've been reached for comment and nothing's been heard. So it's started in terms of it's beginning, with harassing.
I think it's just the case of the Daily Mail trying to manufacture consent again, and try to make out that the patronages don't want them, when we know that the patronages are very happy to have them as their patrons, because they don't just turn up and just cut ribbons. They actually work for their patronages. So when it happens is when I'll believe it. I just think it's the Daily Mail making up another story, because that's how they get clickbait. Because before, I think, was it last week, before the court case was announced, I saw, I think it was in the Mail, it could have been the Express, one of those disgusting papers, basically saying, well, this is it. After this year is up, the trial year, Meghan and Harry should lose their titles. What have they done? Tell me what they've done to lose their titles. And it's like, come on. You can't blackmail them with that anyway. They haven't done anything to lose their titles. When Prince Andrew loses his titles, then come back and talk to me. But before then, they have done nothing to lose their titles. It's their titles. So, they need to be quiet about this. So I just think it's the Mail. It's the Mail.
I had to laugh at the fact that they tried to reach Centre Barley for comment on this. Centre Barley was founded by Harry.
Yeah.
Are you serious? As if he's going to step back from that. No, man. Rebecca English, eat a dick. Just go away.
No, I just think it's desperate people, the papers, are just trying to drum up stories now, and it's actually getting to the point where it's getting pathetic and stupid, and they need to stop, because you're not winning anything, because more and more people are coming around to see you for what you are, and they're just troublemakers, and they're just now it's gone from interest into harassment, and that's what it is. But the joke of it is they can't really harass because they're not in the country, they're in the US, and it's not going to happen, so They need to find somebody else to write stories about. They really do.
Yeah. Well, they it just did not have to be this way. It really didn't have to be this way.
No.
All you had to do was just lower them, leave them the fuck alone, let them get on with it. But no, you they were the ones that look. At the end of the day, the Sussexes never invited the royal press or the royal photographers to any of their gigs. They went there because, of course, you know how the palace and communications team would say, oh, Harry's there, Meghan's there, or they're having a joint engagement. At the end of the day, they they built this pedestal and put the couple on it, and because the couple did not want to be on this pedestal, they're like, no, we don't want to be on this pedestal because we don't want to play by your rules, which are always unfair. We're not playing them, and yeah, of course, what do the British do? The British media do. They knock them. They try to knock them down. And it's
tried to knock
gross.
they tried to knock Meghan down. That was their main aim.
Yeah,
trying to knock her down. And as I keep saying, they were genuinely surprised because Harry was going, no, you're not doing this to my wife. No,
yeah, exactly.
You need to stop this. And that's they're like naughty children. They really are. And you say to them no, and they think,
well, it's not even naughty children. It's obsessed exes. People that can't let it go. Arthur Edwards, you are nearly 90, mate. You should actually be retiring. Why are you still taking photos of the royal family? Retire, mate. You are a sick man. I've seen he's the only time this man has ever written anything, and he's not, he's not a writer. He's a photographer, a royal photographer.
Yeah.
He writes, and the only thing he writes is some disgusting Meghan things, anti-Meghan stuff, saying, oh, it's all her, but Harry's this, Harry's that, Harry's a good man. She turned him into this and that and the other. And I'm like, this is some God,
it's not normal. It's not normal behavior. But it's like, it's like, put it in this context. If there was some, you had some friends or something, and one of the friends was going on about your other half and going, yeah, he's a wrong one, he's a this, he's a that. Are you going to go sit there and go, oh, all right then? No, you're going to be either shut the fuck up, or I'm going to knock you out.
Or drop them like just...
Yeah, you're going to drop them, but you're going to say something to them to say, no, you're not talking about my other half like that. Shut up, So, yeah, it is truly ridiculous. And I don't understand how they feel. Bear
in mind, these are people that do not know Harry like that,
Yeah, exactly. It's like their friend,
Yeah.
We go out for a drink every Saturday, or whatever. It's a very, very strange relationship. It really is.
Yeah.
There is no relationship, is there? It's just it's their way of making money off them. So
yeah, exactly.
But anyhow, and that was a big long discussion on that. God, that one went on a bit. But I'm really, really pleased that they're doing an interview. It'd be nice to find out what they're actually up to and what their plans are for the future, because I think that'll be nice and interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. I just need to. I wonder when we'll get it over here.
Yeah. I imagine that BBC or ITV will try and buy the rights off CBS, because that's obviously American Squaddies. You better be watching that and put it
update us.
Yeah, update us, because I will be in bed.
Because it'll be what? It'll be 7 o'clock their time, so we're midnight. 5 hours behind, aren't we? We're 5 hours 5 hours ahead. Sorry, so it'll be midnight our time.
Yeah.
So
I will be in bed. So I just need, for our American Squaddies, just put the clips up or send us a link. Do something,
watch. Yes.
So that we can watch and eat our popcorn. Of course, I will be
breakfast.
In our case, eating breakfast. Eating my breakfast popcorn and drinking and sipping my tea, my green tea.
So we can have a nice
this.
little watch. So with 90 minutes of goodness, so that'll be very interesting on a Monday morning.
Yeah, and it should be noted that Harry is only going to be joining for like the last half an hour of that. The first hour is going to be Oprah and Meghan.
Yeah, which is absolutely cool because you know, it is about her really, isn't it? So it'll be very interesting. But it's still good to hear what they both have planned for the future. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So and I'm gonna enjoy watching the press and watching how they behave in next 3 weeks.
I could tell you this much. They're going to behave the same way the way that they remember Finding Freedom. And all of the little sort of things that was put out by the palace in which they were telling on themselves. I think that is what's going to happen. That's what's
big time. So it will teach them a lesson anyway. So I think that's enough for this episode. So I think we shall end it here. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. And thank you to Nelly for joining me today for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Don't forget to send in questions and or topics that you'd like to have discussed on future episodes. If you'd like to be a guest panelist on the podcast, please reach out to me at hello@aduchesslikeus.com on email or DM me at duchessus on Twitter. If you've liked what you've heard today, please hit the like button and subscribe to the podcast. Also, please share this episode with anyone else who you think would be interested in listening to it. If you have time, I'd be grateful if you could leave me a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, as it helps more people see the podcast. I really hope that you've enjoyed this episode and that you'll come back for more next time. So I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.